Hello, my name is Jamie and welcome back to the channel. Unlike any other channel that showcases Pokemon Go PvP content, my channel exclusively showcases Shadow Pokemon. So if you're into that type of content, I'd appreciate it if you could like and subscribe.
So, let's get into today's video. Firstly, I hope everyone had a great community day yesterday. I'm not going to lie, I caught about 50 Pokemon. I was dead lazy. I already had a decent IV Shadow, so I just evolved it. I got like 2 shinies and give up. I haven't actually been battling since I last battled the Shadow Walrein video. I've done 0 sets. However, I thought it's about time I got back on the YouTube grind as I've been really fucking lazy and I put out 0 content. So today, I thought, is my double legacy Shadow Gary as good as it was last season? Last season, it gave me around 300 ELO, and today, I did 2 sets on an 8 and 2 run, and we finally hit Expert. I had wrote off this season, but it looks like potentially we will reach Legend for the 3rd time only using Shadow Pokemon. Double Legacy Shadow Gary in the lead is absolutely phenomenal. We are double weak to Charm, however Shadow Gary isn't really that bothered. If you can align your fast moves, you can get it super low, so fuck it. We aren't bothered about Charm, fuck that tap nonsense, and as always I could not recommend highly enough the Shadow Machamp Shadow Snorlax core. This core is absolutely phenomenal, like you're going to see in these battles. So getting into game 1, we're in the fucking mirror. Shadow Gary versus regular Gary. We're on obviously Legacy. Dragon Tail, we get outpaced to the first charge move. We aren't going to shield anything. They go for a crunch, we get no debuff. We go straight for a crunch of our own. Now we're going to see, does the extra bulk or the extra damage win the mirror? And we managed to farm down. You can see you got the Aqua Tail locked and loaded. I do fire the Aqua Tail, and for some reason a fast move fires off, which isn't ideal as that chip would have been nice. However, we can bring in Machamp, we sneak a counter. This Steel Spider absolutely doesn't want to see Shadow Machamp. We are going to try and overfarm, we try and deny, and as usual we fucking let us sneak through. Not fantastic. They are shielding up, so already know there's going to be an Excadrill in the back, as a Dragon Breath user with 2 steel types is super common. I'm going to shield this move up, I'm going to bank the cross chop, switch into Snorlax, and we're about to fuck up that Excadrill. In the back is the Steel Mole. What a fucking surprise. Master League Premier is super easy to predict team comps. We aren't going to shield the drill run. We're going to overfarm just before they get to the next drill run. This superpower is going to absolutely one-shot the mole. See you fucking later. And we're going to body slam the Steel Spider into oblivion. So GG's and thanks for playing. To be perfectly honest, there's a reason I didn't shield the drill run because I had no shields. However, Snorlax tanked it with no problem. Moving on into game 2, we pick up another lead in the mirror against another Gary. This one is on Waterfall. We let her sneak through. However, we go straight for this crunch. The opponent doesn't shield. They're building up enough energy for the outrage. We get a sneak, so even if they bait us, they aren't going to reach another outrage. So we managed to farm down. We've got a super healthy Gary with some energy. Let's see what they come in with. They come in with a Dragonite. That definitely does not want to see a Dragon Tail Gary. They actually don't even shield the crunch. Gary's going on a rampage. We are going to get to this last minute Aqua Tail. If the opponent doesn't shield, we should farm down. They actually do shield. And Gary has almost ran through the opponent's team. I'm not going to shield this up. I do believe it's just a Dragon Claw. They haven't got enough for the Outrage or the Hurricane. They switch out with 1 HP and a Dream, and they bring in Togekiss. Holy fucking shit, that is not ideal. We really need to get the shield with this body slam, which we do. We shield into Machamp. We are getting absolutely wrecked by counter. I'm forced to shield this ancient power. Can Machamp make the Stone Edge? 1 HP and a fucking Dream. Get wrecked, you stupid fucking Charmer. See you fucking later. In comes the Dragonite and 1 lick takes the game. GG's and thanks for playing. Moving on into game 3, we pick up a lead against Garchomp. We have no idea what fast moves they're on as they have instantly swapped. They switch out into a Gyarados. We are going to go straight for this crunch to get some nice chip. We actually draw a shield and now we switch into Snorlax. The opponent's actually running a Shadow Gary. You love to see it. We are going to tank this move. The crunch hurts quite a lot from a Shadow. However, being a Shadow, this body slam should near KO. Actually does KO. So we are in a pretty good spot. Let's see what move the Dragonite's on. They actually bring in Metagross. I'm going to go for as much lick damage as possible. And when I've got hardly any HP, I'm going to fire off this superpower. Superpower lands, does huge damage, and unfortunately we don't get to the body slam. This Metagross has loads of energy. I come in with Machamp. I am going to shield this up. It's going to be the Meteor Mash. I think they're now 4 away from the next one. They bring in Garchomp. It's on Mud Shot. So I'm going to fire off this cross chop. The opponent doesn't shield, so I'm looking to make a catch on the Gary. The opponent does fire. This will need to be an outrage to take us out. And now I'm looking to counter down everything. I'm going to shield this up, as I believe they're probably on twin nukes. It is the Earth Power. They won't make another. It's going to be a race. Can Machamp counter down the Steel Spider before they make a move? And they were actually only 2 away. So I didn't see 2 bullet punches, and we unfortunately lose that game. The opponent wins with 1 HP and a dream. So GG's to that guy. Moving straight on into the next one, we pick up another Garchomp lead. This one is on Dragon Tail. We are going to overfarm and we are going to go for this Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail will do decent damage as the ground typing makes it neutral. I'm not going to shield up my Gary. They go for the Earth Powers. They must be on twin nukes. We get it super low. And now I'm going to come in with Machamp and look to counter down. Machamp does counter down. We've now got a nice energy lead for whatever's in the back. And they come in with the Steel Spider. Cross chops do quite a lot of damage as it is neutral due to their psychic type. And we go for the back-to-back. Let's see if the opponent is going to shield. They're forced to shield. And now switch into Snorlax. They bring in the Steel Mole. This is looking like an absolute good game. They don't even fire a move, so we've still got 2 shields. See you later, Excadrill. And we are going to lick down the Metagross. The opponent leaves the match. So we're off to a 3-1 start. Moving on into the last battle of set number 1. We pick up another Garchomp lead. Once again, they switch into Gary. This time, I decide I'm going to bank the crunch and switch into Snorlax. With that chip damage, I have no problem maintaining alignment. They're actually just throwing Aqua Tails, so I don't really need to shield anything. 2 Aqua Tails, we've still got a decent amount of health. I go straight for this Body Slam, which unfortunately will not KO, but we should be able to lick down before they make the next Aqua Tail, which we do successfully. Let's see what fast move this Garchomp's on. They're actually on Mud Shot, so I am going to have to look to switch out into Machamp because I don't want to get Mud Shot down. I actually switch out into Gary, so perhaps looking back, I don't really know what I'm on about. We shield up the Outrage. We go straight for this Aqua Tail. Let's see if the opponent wants to shield. The opponent lets it go. In the back is a Walrus. So we're in an alright spot, as obviously Machamp has a great matchup against this Walrus. We get the first shield. This Icicle Sphere will not KO, so I'm not going to shield it up. Icicle Sphere does decent damage. I'm hoping I can make another crunch, which we do. This crunch will definitely grab the final shield, and Machamp should be on cleanup duty. I now switch out into the Machamp. I'm not going to shield this move up. Icicle Sphere doesn't do too much damage as Walreign's stat product is pretty poor in the Master League. I would know as I did run it, and we managed to take that game. Moving on into the next set. We pick up a lead against Metagross. This is pretty decent, but I have 2 better responses in the back really, as we're on Dragon Tail, which is resisted by their Steel type, and they switch out into Garchomp. They don't even shield. This is just a Sand Tomb, so I am going to tank it and look to lick down with my Snorlax. With the defense drop, 1 lick takes him out, and now we draw out the Haxorus. So this is an alright spot to be in. Obviously, Snorlax doesn't have a great matchup against Haxorus. They actually shield up the first move. So Machamp should look prime once again to sweep. This Dragon's Claw does almost take us out. They actually snipe us with Metagross. So we can now bring in Machamp. Machamp does outpace Metagross heavily. We are going to shield this move up, of course, as Meteor Mash would one-shot us from this range. I'm going to overfarm as much as possible. I'm going to go for this cross chop. If the opponent doesn't shield, we are going to be able to counter down. The opponent doesn't shield, we counter down. We've got the cross chop locked and loaded. They sneak a counter, but this cross chop should be drawing the shield. They don't shield it up, so at this stage we can just Dragon Tail down. They're not at 2 moves. Even if they were, the Dragon Tail snuck through, so we're going to take them out. So GG's and thanks for playing. Moving on into the next one, we've got Shadow Gary versus Walrus. This isn't great as the ice type moves do hit us for neutral, and I've got 2 better responses in the back, so I switch into Snorlax. They go for the Icicle Sphere. It doesn't do much as Snorlax is an absolute fucking tank. They fire off another one. Let's see if they look to switch out. It looked like they were trying to catch the superpower on the Gyarados. Snorlax is going to go for a Body Slam. Body Slam does decent chip, and we actually lose CMP on the second one. This is fine for me. I'm just going to let Snorlax go down. I'm going to wait out my switch timer as they did switch quite late. I'm going to come in with Gary. I'm going to go straight for this crunch. If they don't shield, this will KO, and they will be switch locked temporarily if they bring the Walrus back in. So I come in with Machamp, counter it, absolutely fucking wrecking them. We're going to tank this Icicle Sphere on the chin in case they have a flyer in the back. However, it is a Metagross, so Gary should be alright to clean this match up. We draw a shield with the first cross chop and they fire immediately. So I'm going to let Machamp go down and rely on my Gary to clutch out this game. So you can see that Shadow Gary is super squishy. We do resist Bullet Punch, but it doesn't fucking look like it. We go for the crunch. The opponent does shield it up. I am going to shield this Meteor Mash up, and I am going to be really careful of the switch because the switch timer is going to come up at some stage. So I'm going to shield this move up. The Walrus is dry as they did throw an Icicle Sphere at the Machamp. The opponent doesn't switch, so this Aqua Tail will take out the Metagross, and we're going to be able to crunch that Walrus into oblivion. So Gary clutching out this game in style. GG's and thanks for playing. Moving on into the next battle. We have a legend. So this guy is obviously looking to gatekeep us and they lead Togekiss into our Gary. This is not what you want to see, but like I said at the start of the video, if you can get a denial like we do here, we will reach 2 Aqua Tails. First Aqua Tail does a nice bit of chip, and if the opponent has thrown straight away, this is going to be a CMP tie, absolute best case scenario, which we managed to pull off. You can see the Togekiss is in the red and they did dump all their energy, so we now come in with Snorlax. We can lick down with hardly took any damage and they bring in a Snorlax of their own. So I'm going to go straight for this Superpower, expecting the no shield. Superpower does big damage. We come in with Machamp, we get a couple of counters off on the Lax, and they have a Swampert in the back. So I'm going to shield this first move up. Hydro Cannon from Swampert would really hurt. We are going to go for this cross chop. I imagine the opponent is going to start shielding. We do draw a shield. We outpace to the second cross chop. Let's see if the opponent wants to commit their final shield. They do. So now we can let our Machamp go down. They are going to have to dump their energy. That does not take us out. So they're going to have to dump their energy once again. And I absolutely am not going to shield. So the Swampert is dry. We can come in with Snorlax. We are looking to lick down. I'm still not going to use my shield as Hydro Cannon doesn't do too much to Snorlax. They come in with a Snorlax of their own. They haven't thrown a move, so this Superpower is going to take out the Snorlax. And we have a shield remaining for the Swampert. The opponent leaves the match, so GG's and thanks for playing. Moving on into the next battle. We lead our Shadow Gyarados into another Gyarados. So once again, we are in the mirror. They're on Waterfall. We love to see Waterfall Gary. We are going to go straight for this crunch. However, the opponent isn't running Outrage as they've only got enough energy for a crunch, which is great for us. So crunch, if it lands, we will be able to Dragon Tail down. We do land the crunch and we do Dragon Tail down before they can even get to a move. They come in with a Dragonite. I could have thrown one more, but I was afraid if I lagged, I would get farmed down. You can see that a couple of Dragon Breaths does take us out. So we now come in with Snorlax. We go straight for this Body Slam. I imagine the opponent is going to start using their shields. They shield it up. They've got enough energy for a Hurricane. I imagine it's going to be a Dragon Claw, but I am going to respect it. It is a Dragon Claw. The opponent looks to catch the Body Slam onto Excadrill. We switch into Machamp. I'm going to tank this move because I know I do survive, and I'm now going to go for this Cross Chop. I'm thinking of Undercharge. I do Undercharge, but absolutely one shot. A couple of Dragon Breaths takes us out. We need to manage to lick down. Let's hope they don't make two moves. I'm going to shield up this Dragon Claw. We're almost at the back-to-back Body Slam. We're one lick away. I believe the opponent is actually at the move though. So we draw the shield and you can see on 1 HP and a Dream, they win the match. So I think the play there was to perhaps shield the Machamp, and a Cross Chop would have threatened it from that health and we could have won that match. But I'm a noob and I misplay. So moving on into the next battle, the final battle of the video, we have another legend looking to gatekeep us. We lead our Dragon Tail Gary into the Steel Mole, which obviously is not what you want to see. The opponent is staying in with the Excadrill, so I'm going to go straight for this Superpower. Let's see if the opponent shields. They do shield, so I am going to shield this Drill Run up, as I know I will be able to outpace to the second Superpower. Is the opponent going to go shields down? Let's see. The opponent really is looking to protect this mole, so they are going to take us out here. I am going to come in with Machamp. We are going to one shield and farm down. You are going to see a really great play from the opponent, because I was thinking of attempting to catch the Drill Run on Gary, and apparently the opponent was expecting it, because I shield this up and it is a Rock Slide. So we managed to counter down the Steel Mole. In the back is a Togekiss. Holy shit, this isn't ideal, but surprise motherfucker, eat Stone Edge. We're now looking to Dragon Tail down the Charmer. They've got a Waterfall Gary of their own. We should be in a good spot here. Unless they're on Outrage. Let's see. We get the defense drop. The opponent is throwing after 7, so I know they're only on Crunch. We're going to tank this, no problem. We Dragon Tail down. We've got the Aqua Tail locked and loaded, and that is going to be enough to clutch out a second 4-on-1 set. So you can see there, that was a nice 8-2 run. The 2 games I did lose, the opponent did win with 1 HP and a Dream. And to be honest, I think in the second set I did misplay. But it is what it is. We managed a nice 8-2 run. Double Legacy Shadow Gary is an absolute monster. So if you've got some spare Elite TMs lying around and a good IV one, I'd highly recommend it. And as always, I'd highly recommend the Machamp Snorlax Core. It's great in Ultra League and it's absolutely phenomenal in Master Premier Classic. As you know, if you've been following the channel for a while, it's pretty good in the Master League Premier. It'd be really good in the Master League Open as well, but I'm super broke and I can't afford to make them Pokemon at this time. So I'd just like to say thanks for watching and I will see you all in the next one.